So thank you all for coming. I look forward to meeting some of you and talking about this work. So you all may be aware that there is a mental health crisis in this country currently that has been emerging over the past several decades. Now, the data clearly show that this crisis particularly affects young people. So for example, on the right side of this slide, you can see some data that the CDC collected that shows that 1 in 4 young adults considered suicide during the previous 30 days. So these statistics have only gotten more alarming, yet unfortunately, this high level of need far exceeds the supply of mental health clinicians and treatment. So we started a program at MGH many years ago now called the Resilience and Prevention Program. And the goal of this program is to develop tools and test approaches that can ultimately lead to the prevention of major mental health conditions in young people. And we have also done this work in healthcare workers since the pandemic. So how we do this is we use evidence-based tools that are shown to increase emotional resilience, which is defined as the ability to manage stress, everyday stress, as well as major life adversity. And our program is what's called transdiagnostic, in the sense that we are not focused on trying to prevent any particular mental health illness or category of mental illnesses, but instead we're working upstream from that, trying to enhance the overall mental health of young people so that we can help them avoid a wide range of mental health problems. So one intervention that we have developed and studied quite extensively is called resilience training. Resilience training is a 4 to 6 week, very brief group intervention. It tends to include 7 to 14 participants per workshop. It's run by 2 facilitators. And the sessions include things like didactic information, experiential exercises, group discussions, and going over homework. And we've done quite a few studies on this intervention, including a randomized controlled trial. And we found kind of remarkably that all of these studies have consistently shown that resilience training leads to reductions in symptoms of mental health conditions, as well as significant increases in resilience-related capacities, like the ones that we focus on in these interventions, the mindfulness, self-compassion, and other tools that enhance resilience. And we've also found some evidence that resilience training improves academic performance and retention in college. So in 2020, we decided to develop an adaptation of resilience training that can be delivered in an immersive, multi-user virtual reality application. So the way that this application works is every participant has a headset, a VR headset like this one, and through the headset where the application resides, people go in and they create an avatar, and then they can enter a virtual environment where all the other participants are also present in the virtual environment as avatars, and the facilitators are also there as avatars, and everyone can interact and talk to each other freely within this virtual environment. So this application, this intervention has all the benefits of our original resilience training intervention with the added advantage of immersive VR. The advantages include the fact that everyone can participate anonymously, which is very appealing to some people. There are a whole sort of segment of people who still feel very reluctant to participate in a mental health intervention. So this gets around that. And then the immersive VR is extremely sort of attention capturing and engaging. And this has a lot of advantages in that People find it sort of fun and cool, and so, but it turns out from a very sort of practical level that this attention capturing quality of immersive VR increases the depth of learning and also the retention in the intervention over time. And then, like any remote intervention, this application increases access because people can participate from anywhere, right? They can participate from their home, from their office, from their car. But unlike a lot of remote interventions like smartphone apps or video conferencing-based teletherapy, VR has this quality, this multi-user VR, of inducing what's called social presence, the simulated experience of really being in the room with other people. And this really increases the sense of social connection and common experience that we actually think is very critical to the effectiveness of this program. So now I'm just going to play you a short video that hopefully will give you a sense of what this application is like.
In VR, you can be anyone you want to be. No one needs to know who you are. You can try out different characters, different looks. You can try out different locations, all while you're sitting in the comfort of your own home. What has it felt like to be in this virtual space?
Feel like I'm here with you in this space, sitting in this park. It's very calming and helps me focus on, learning to be mindful and noticing everything around us.
What about in here?
Well, for me, I kind of find it comforting and relaxing because it's so familiar.
Why did you decide to do our virtual workshop?
I'm really not comfortable in groups, so I thought I would try it in VR with everyone being an avatar. That's actually been a lot easier. It's helped me to get used to being in the same room with people again, even if it's a virtual room. It feels like we're together, but then I can just take my headset off, and then at the end, I'll be in my own apartment.
So now let's hear from Rose, who's a healthcare provider, about how resilience training in VR was for her.
Once I got the headset on and I tried it, it became really easy. And I think, honestly, I don't know that I would have done this workshop had it not been in VR. I was very uncomfortable with the idea of being around colleagues and people I knew and talking about some vulnerable emotions and experiences and stress.
So we've also found that the virtual version of resilience training has a lot of the same benefits in terms of clinical benefits and resilience enhancement as the original version of resilience training. And we feel like this application is very well positioned in the market because of some of its uncommon features, the fact that it's focused on prevention and resilience building, the fact that it provides a group experience, which, as I mentioned, is very protective and an important part of its effectiveness, as well as its scalability. And we've developed an initial business model that includes a training program to train facilitators in resilience training. We have a detailed plan for working with universities, and we also have a plan for expanding beyond the higher education market to address other needs. And next steps include conducting another randomized controlled trial to demonstrate the efficacy of this specific application, developing the operational infrastructure, expanding our customer base, and we're seeking some seed funding to get started in terms of building out the operations, launching with a beta customer, and we're looking for appropriate partners to achieve these goals. So thanks so much for listening, and I'll be at poster, I think, 29 to answer any questions.